Hi and welcome back. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I just want to do a quick update on some things going on here in the living room and just ignore my little dead plant out there. I meant to put some winter blooming things out there, but totally skipped my mind, so I'll deal with that in the spring. Anyway, look at this beauty right here. So this is the holiday Amaryllis that we planted a couple of weeks ago, and this one here has 3 blooms on it, 2 of which have opened. This is the one with the 4 blooms, again, 2 of which have opened. This one right here, I believe, is going to be the next one to open. But look at them. She is gorgeous. She is just pretty. And look how big. Like, I don't have big hands, but still, that is a big bloom. Big bloom. I think I'm going to have to look into getting a few more of those. Some with maybe the different patterning in them. I don't know. I'll have to wait. But the leaves are also progressing. So that is very nice. And I noticed I moved the 2 big begonias over here. And this one here, she's starting to relax a little bit. So I'm wondering if maybe light does have something to do with it. But this one here is in brighter light through most of the day. And she's not quite as relaxed as the purple one here, which, let's just look at her blooms real quick. Look how pretty. This is the one that she'll bloom this dark purple or a light purple or a combination. If I can find some of the older pictures of her blooms, I'll put them up so you can kind of see the difference in what she decides she wants to do. Then our jewel orchid here is, I believe, getting ready to work on her flower buds because the spikes have stopped growing and she's starting to swell the buds up there at the top. So that will be coming here in a few weeks. And not much going on with the sherry babies. But look at the echevera. It's just crawling up the wall there. I've got it kind of leaned up against that mount. And then she's got a growth going there. She's got all kinds of growths going down there. And then I've got a pot full of pieces that have fallen off that I'm just trying to propagate there because I want to try a piece outside next winter to see if they're hardy enough to stay outside, because this one, I don't want to redo her because she's so pretty like that. And I can't wait to get her back outside so she can get that anthocyanin in her and get that redness back. Let's see, rubber tree plant doing fine. The Chen Zhang or Chain Zen is now getting ready to open up some buds. She's swelling up her buds. That back one there looks like it's going to be the first one to open. So that'll be out in about a week or 2. Down here we have the white cattleya. Let me move the Phalaenopsis out of the way real quick just so we can, without dropping her, I want to show you guys something. All right, let me zoom in here. Do you see all that new growth? And we have roots as well. So I'm very, very happy with her continued recovery, and that Phalaenopsis bloom is just in the way. But look at that. Is that not just good news? So all that new growth will also mean new roots. And of course, I will have to wait until those growths are fully mature before she starts her roots. That seems to be what this little lady likes to do. So let me just move her back where I had her real quick so I can put the Phalaenopsis back up there. All right. And speaking of Misphalanopsis here, so she is one, she did have 2 spikes. I did cut the spike that had the most blooms off of her just to kind, excuse me, just to kind of give her a kind of a break from trying to support 2 blooms plus the repot that I had to do on her because she was busting out of her pot. So she's still holding on to these blooms. She's opened this one since the repot, or is opening. And I noticed just now that she is absorbing that bottom leaf. I did cut the blooms off of the, what I believe is the replacement for my DTPS fullers, just because it was a lot of blooms. I did not want her concentrating on supporting all those blooms. I want her to get a healthy root system, and then she can rebloom for me another time. And of course, big girl here, she's still looking fab. Let me just zoom in on those gorgeous, gorgeous blooms. And really, each bloom, if you really, really look at them, like they kind of have a different look about them. See how this one is a little more bright pink, whereas this has more dark pink. And then these over here, especially like this one, like doesn't even have barely any pink. It's more spotting around. If you compare these two, she's just an interesting little lady there. Not much going on with Miss Sunshine down here. Did recently repot her. She's still doing pretty good. And then we have Lark Song. Look at her. So this side here is the side for the Barina lights that shine on her, because the shelf is right there. So she looks a little more pink on this side. But then when you take it on this side, where she's facing the natural light, she's a little more pale pink. I just think that's so pretty. And again, look at the lip. Look at all the details in that lip. Like she's got the little burnt brown around the edges there. The pink extends all the way to the tip. And then the little butterfly throat back there with all the speckling. And then you've got those little swoops on the side. And she's got some speckling right behind her sepals down there. I mean, she's just perfect. Just perfect. And I also like the way that the spike kind of developed like this. It would have been amazing had this bloom decided to go that way. But she just looks stunning. And she is trying to branch. So that will be welcome. Oh, look here. We still have the blooms on the mount. The one that's kind of got the little burnt brown at the bottom. And then Andrea here is still in fabulous bloom. She's continuing to open her blooms. And the more I look at her, the more I think she resembles more my Lark Song than the White Clouds. Let's see if I can grab her. Maybe we can compare. See if I can do this without dropping her on the ground. Let's see. What do you guys think? You know what? Let me get her out of the Barina light. Let me just put her in with the natural light, and then maybe I'll be able to see it a little bit better. What do you guys think? Because if you look at, whoops, like look at that. Like obviously there's a lot of differences, but she does to me resemble a little bit more the Lark Song than the soft white clouds, now that I've got her open a little more. All right, and then back here, look how quickly that spike is growing on that Looseberry open classic house, or house classic. That's the one I got from Orchid Web. Look at that. It's growing pretty quickly. And of course, Miss Tadia, Little Pretty, crossed with Zuma's Pixie, is just starting to swell her buds. So it'll still be about another week or so, probably about a month even, before we see those. And then my other Looseberry here has no signs of any spike, but look at all the roots. And then this one here, my Yellowbird, I did cut the bloom off. And let's see, you notice, let's see, where was it? I saw a new growth on her. Now I can't find it. Oh, there it is. See her new growth? Now whether she'll rebloom off that new growth, I'm not sure. She is still in her original nursery pot, so just have to wait and see on that. And of course I moved Iris from back there to here, just so that I could enjoy her a little bit better. And I did move Andrea from this side over here as well, because I kept bumping her when she was on this side. Over here, our little piece of the, it's called Pink Doll, is just still working on more root growth. So that is really, really good. And I just noticed she has another little one trying to start right. Let's see if you can see it. There it is. Now it's in focus, or it was. There it goes right there. And I'm hoping that that new growth, because it does look like it's swelling, that new growth right there will start swelling and producing. So once these roots get a little bit longer, I will pot her up. But for the time being, I am leaving her in this moss here, which she sits on some rocks, and then the moss is underneath the rocks. This way she's not sitting in the moss. This one here, Cattleya, this is the Golden Super Mix. That growth is still growing, and then it looks like she is swelling up that one right there. And let's see. Oh, and then I ended up potting, not really potting. This is the same size, circumference-wise. I just put her in a little deeper pot. My Gammon White Knight, because I don't know if you remember or not, but all the roots and everything were just out of the pot because she was so root bound inside. So I did just take her out, just kind of shake the media off, cut off any dead roots that I could see, and then just stuck her in the same media mix that she came out of, which is a bark and sphagnum moss with the charcoal and the perlite already mixed in. The Key Lime Stars is still just working on roots, nothing new going on there. I don't see any new growth at the moment. Oh, and then here we can really see these roots coming in. This is another piece of the pink doll that when we repotted ended up coming off. And then the Brassavola Little Stars has some root growth starting right in there. So she's the one I said I had to kind of repot her and cut off almost all of her roots. What else is going on? Oh, this big piece of the pink doll. Let's see if I can turn her around real quick and show you guys. Just quick updates here. But let's see. I thought I saw some new root activity. Yep, and I did. So there's some new root activity on that one, and she looks like she's going to have 2 new growths possibly push out. And then we have a new root growth on this one. She's just, it's underneath the bark. I don't want to move it again, but she also has a growth, looks like it's swelling in there. So I have great hopes for this one. This one is still, and this is the one that had the latest growth on it. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed on that one. And then the Elaine Taylor, she is there. So she does have some roots coming out of her pot, but she's still going to stay in this pot until she outgrows it. But I thought I saw right here maybe a little swelling getting ready to start. And let's see, anything else? Oh, I'm waiting on roots on my Horus Maxima here to start on those 2 new growths so I can repot her, because she doesn't have room for any more growth after those 2. So I'm going to try to take advantage of new root growth, spring coming, and put that one into its home. Let's see, Nodosa crossed with Small World has that growth right there, and then I saw another growth this morning coming up right here. So that's nice. But what I really want to show you guys is this one. Oh my goodness. The beauty of this Tai Shing Fly Eagle. Look at this. Let me just zoom in on this gorgeous thing. You can see the Tetraspis. I have such a hard time with that word in her, with the shape of that flower. And then she has this other bud getting ready to open up. It'll be interesting to see what that one looks like. Wouldn't it be cool if that one was more yellow with the maroonish red edging? But from looking at this portion of it, it looks like she's the outside's going to be red. But oh my goodness, she's just gorgeous. She's only been open since the 11th, so less than a week. So I don't detect a scent yet, but from what I've read, she's supposed to have a citrusy scent to her. So if you do have this Phalaenopsis, and let me know what scent you detect in the comments below. My Sanderiana here is getting ready to push out another leaf. Do you see it coming? That's cool. This one right here is just really, the leaves have just become one of my favorite, and I don't know why. What else is going on? Oh, Mini Mark, we cut her spike off, and then my Sideria japonica finished this leaf, but she does have another leaf coming there. This one here, the Inscriptionis, she's just going crazy. Like, look at all the aerial roots. She has roots in the pot. She's finishing off this leaf. She has a new leaf coming. She's got that spike, the two she came with. I've yet to see her in bloom, but she's a busy little lady. Like, she's just busy, busy, busy. Sogo Vivian is doing fine, and Philippinensis is starting to swell those buds again. Probably another, I'm going to say another week, maybe not. I just noticed this one right here looks like it's going to try to burst open. If it does burst open before I do another video, I'll post it on my Instagram, so be sure to follow me there. And she is absorbing this bottom leaf down here. I'm not too concerned because none of the other parts of the plant look like it's suffering, so I will be keeping an eye though. And then in another exciting news, my summer rose, blue, what is this one? Blue Star, has a spike. Look at that. Look at that. So that's why she got moved from that back corner to here, because I know back there, that wall with the reflection, they always like to go towards that wall. So that's why I moved her here, in hopes that the spike will come this way, or at the very least up, so that we can see it better. And anything going on down here we need to chat about? Oh, yes. Yes, there is. So, our yellow retrocala has decided, I've had a long enough break, I'm going to give you another bloom. Sorry about the motorcycle driving by, guys. But our yellow retrocala is going to give us another bloom. And got some roots we can see going down into the pot. That one right there is working on a new leaf. And what else? The other great news, move this over, is my Cernua is continuing to develop. Let me see if I can get her out of that. Do you see it? Developing that new growth, and there are nice roots going down into the pot as well. And we've got some branching going on right there. So, of course, still, you know, a year or two off from blooming, but she's making progress, and which is good. And in another exciting news, my Deliciosa variation Hookeriana, I believe, is going to spike. If I can find it, there it is. I believe that is a spike. And I know for sure, oh, turn her around. I know for sure that's a spike. Just look how skinny it is. Maybe go back. Get her out of here. Let me see if we can see her better this way. Yeah. So, do you see it? Right alongside that one. And then that, I believe, is another spike. Now, these right here have stopped spiking. I haven't had any spikes on them since the last time I showed you their bloom. So, I'm not sure if I should cut this or not. So, I'm just going to let them kind of dry out. Leave them alone. They might bloom again. Who knows? Miss Chattel a Day, not doing anything, still working on her leaf. Val Yoko, I've trained those roots to kind of go down into the pot to help. And we have some more twinkle blooms. So this is supposed to be the white showers. And I'm waiting for her to open up a little bit more so I can compare her to the, go back, the Fragrance Fantasy. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. And then Pops finally dropped his bloom. Yeah, he dropped his bloom this morning. So I'm just going to let that spike stay on there for a couple of days to help absorb and help that new growth that's coming in. But the rest of them are doing really well. And this one here, this fan here on the male star, I'm pretty sure is completed. So now I'm just kind of keeping my eye out for a possible spike, but I don't know that it's going to spike for me. I've got 2 others that are working on finishing up, so we'll have to wait and see. And then, of course, we've still got this beauty here who just keeps opening her buds, hasn't blasted any. And as a final note, I did want to show you guys the Phalaenopsis cakey I repotted, where I put most of the aerial roots inside. Comment was made that some people don't like to repot because they're afraid to lose the bloom. But if you look, she's still opening her blooms. So she's opened these 2 since I repotted her about a week ago. As long as your buds are swollen like this, you usually won't lose them. It's when they're more in the, let's look at this one here. See that tip? Where they're just beginning, you could lose that. So just wanted to show you guys that, and I will be cutting that spike when we're done. Sorry guys, I have to sit down for a second. I have a leg cramp. Oh, there we go. Sorry. But I will be cutting this spike when I get done with this video, just so that she can put her energy into producing roots and some more vegetative growth. Like I've stated in the past, she's a reliable bloomer, so I'm sure she'll bloom again. Not worried about her too much. And on another good note, the BCT Hawaiian treat is still working on all of that new growth there. And the mounted Phalaenopsis cakeys are still producing lots and lots of roots. I don't see any spikes yet. The top one is the only one that's not producing any new growth as far as a leaf or anything that we can see. All right, well, that is it for today's little update. I just want to end it on the Tai Shing Fly Eagle. Oh, look at that. That is just stunning, and I just love the waxiness of her bloom with the pink in there. Oh my goodness. Like I said, I'm looking forward to that second bloom opening up, and I'm hoping it opens before the first one fades, just so I can see what's going on. And I'm really proud of this one because that spike did grow in my care, and I did manage to continue that spike for her to bloom it. So I call that a success. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next one.